Welcome to another Demarcation Media Mega Construx review. Today we've got a very special video because I am once again looking at a pair of custom figures. This will be my second time reviewing some custom figures. The first one was some Spartans made by JKT Customs over on Instagram. If you have not seen that video, the link for that one will be down in the description below. And today we've got a pair of Spartans from Megablix over on Instagram. So let's just jump right in and take a look at that CQC. There we go, we're a little bit closer. Now this guy I was given because I won a contest that Megablix ran. And this guy was the prize. And just look at him for a second, just kind of take a look. It's a little hard to see on camera because of my lighting, but he's got a mix of kind of a dark gray and a really, really dark green. And it's all kind of a matte look, and there's kind of a little bit of silver dry brushing. Take a look like that. Let's give him a little spin. You see the paint on that armor. He's got some lights painted on him, and his little wrist, what even is that? Little panel or something. It's got some lights on it as well. That visor is applied so well. Just so good. Now, I will say that I did, with both of these figures, I added a little extra sealer onto it because I use my figures a lot, and having custom painted figures means that there's more chance for the paint to be worn off by the sheer just amount of posing that I do. So I did a little bit of extra sealing, even though Megablix does seal these himself. I just wanted a little extra protection. And so the look of this guy is fantastic, and the typical way that he paints figures is he will do both the legs and the forearms painted, which looks really good, and he does a great job with it. But as I said, I do a lot of posing with my figures, so having the forearms painted means that, you know, it's gonna wear off a little bit because of the amount of movement that it gets. So I had, if you've seen my review of Halo Heroes Series 12, my Mark 7 had a terrible, terrible head print. So I popped a few parts off, swapped him over, and sent him off. And, well, let's take a look at the result. Just look at that. That went from being a pretty much useless figure to this amazing piece of work right here. And real quick, before we get into this guy himself, let me drop in the original Mark 7. So it went from this with a really crappy face print to that. Look at the difference. Look at that. That's so cool. It's almost beyond words how good this is. So I sent this to Megablix, and I commissioned him to paint him, with really only specification being that I did not want the elbow joints and where the legs rub painted. I wanted those left unpainted, so there'd be less chance of the paint, you know, rubbing off. And the rest of it was up to him, and he came up with this fantastic combination. He did the visor in kind of a copper. He gave me a choice of like 3 different colors, and I went with the copper, and it looks so good. He did the big armor. I added that on there because I really liked how it was on the CQC. So I had him do another one. And I think, honestly, the Mark 7's armor looks even better than the CQC's. Just that paint on there. Spinning around to the back. You can see the paintwork on the back. And Megablix has a very distinct style. He's always got kind of this matte look with a little bit of silver dry brushing. Kind of looks like a little bit of wear. It just looks so good. There's the little lights on the legs. And, you know, let's get in even closer so that you can see that head better. There we go. Head detail, the visor, which looks fantastic. He's even got the blue inside those little... Look at that. How do you even do that? That looks so good. He painted the vents on there. Let's drop in the CQC side by side. Looks really good. Let me drop back in the other Mark 7. Again, so good. The looks of these guys have been completely knocked out of the park. They look beyond fantastic. Now the question is, how functional are they? Well, as I said with the CQC, having the fully painted arm joints means that there is going to be some rubbing of the paint if you pose them a lot. That's just kind of going to happen because it's a point of high friction. Now, if you're the kind of collector that mostly just likes displaying your stuff, then pretty much you will be fully satisfied to as far as you can be satisfied with these figures because the looks are so good. If you are kind of like me and you like posing your figures a lot, then specifying not to have the high friction points painted is kind of a must. And you know, you'll still have a few spots here and there that may get rubbed. That's just when you're working with figures that are completely custom painted, that's just a chance that might happen. And I think both of these guys, the heads felt a little slightly sticky to me, not like over the top. And there was a few spots on the back of this guy's head that there was red, but like they were so small you could barely even see them. Then they could just be fixed with a little touch of a Sharpie. So more care is required with fully custom painted figures. But for the most part, if you're careful, you won't have any problems with them. They look great. They work pretty well. You just have to exercise a little bit of care. Now, you're probably wondering how to get one of these figures yourself. Well, not one of these two. These are mine. Nobody can have them. How to get one customized yourself. So, the first and most important thing is you have to send him a figure you want painted. As an example, I had one of these guys that was completely messed up, so I sent it to him and he painted him into this fantastic figure. He does not supply the figure. You send it, one of yours, to him, and for $13, he will completely just transform it into this. I mean, you can see how much works of art these two are. And then he'll send it back. He also does custom weapons. Those can be requested as well. And you can, you know, be as specific as you want with the colors and where you want painted, or you can be super vague like I was and just say, you know, don't paint these spots, paint the rest, and then he'll give you, you know, whatever he thinks looks good, which looks pretty darn good. So I'll put the link to his Instagram page down in the description, and just click over there and go and shoot him a message, and you can get one of these awesome looking figures yourself. Now, I figured we'd end off the video with some comparisons. We'll start off with, move the CQC aside, and we'll drop in the other Mark 7s that I've got. So there's the blind bag Mark 7. And you can already see the difference in kind of hue and the way the light hits the armor, because this guy is all matte and dry brushed, and this guy has very minimal paint. There's the red dude that we saw before, who provided the base for this custom. And then, you know what, move out of the way. There is the official green Mark 7 from Mega Construx. And again, you can just see how incredibly different the hue of the armor is, and how much more realistic looking the custom is. So we'll move those aside. Get out of here. We'll bring back in the CQC, and we'll bring in the, oh, come on now, stand up. We'll bring in the Air Assault from JKT Customs, put next to them, and you can see the difference in painting style too. Mega Blitz style is definitely very standout, and you can tell. But still, they look very good together. Golly, I almost just knocked my camera over. And then these last couple figures I'm going to drop in are actually a couple of my own customs. You can see there. I did not do a total repaint. I just added some details. So that's a very minor job compared to these two guys over here. Same with this dude here. That's another one of my customs. Just painted some extra details and top coated them and stuff like that. So you can see how the style of these figures here really stand out when put next to other customs. And I really encourage you to head over to Instagram and get some figures for yourself. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and consider subscribing, and I'll see you next time.